I-94 in Alexandria, the sheriff totaled the county-owned SUV and suffered broken ribs and a head injury before later pleading guilty to the charges.
This guy cost the county $240,000 as a result of what's going on here. Wow. So imagine that. He's lying again. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Colonel channel. And I want to say in the beginning, I got together with some supporters of the channel. So I want to say hi to Ron and Al and Kurt. Had some good discussions of the stuff they like to see on the channel. So I was really refreshing. Good to hear that. So in honor of those local people, you know, I've done some videos on corrupt cops and particularly corrupt sheriffs because they are elected. But it got me to want to go back and take a look. We have our own piece of junk here for law enforcement. And this is what really burns my butt. These people, how many people have gone to how many jails or days of jail or years of prison because of what law enforcement does? And when the law enforcement violates that trust, I believe that there should be an additional penalty, like an enhancing penalty for law enforcement. A, they know better. B, they're sworn. They're sworn. So when they just go out and act like a common criminal, it doesn't seem fair that they just get treated like a common criminal. And Sheriff Hutchinson right here, our own Hennepin County Sheriff, now this is a couple years old, but it's very relevant to this point. Like, this guy is a cop. And how many people have suffered as a result of his law enforcement career and the people he's led? And just watch what a despicable human being this guy is. That's all I'm going to say. Let's jump into the video. I think you'll be disgusted as well. And here we go.
Today, we're seeing new video and photos from the scene of last month's drunken driving crash. It happened on I-94 in Alexandria. The sheriff totaled the county-owned SUV and suffered broken ribs and a head injury before later pleading guilty to the charges. WCCO's Reg Chapman shows us the new evidence released today.
Okay, so later pleading guilty. Listen to this bullshit. This cop tries to give other cops. And thank goodness the other cops aren't buying his shit, because this guy doesn't deserve our trust whatsoever.
Douglas County Sheriff deputies pulled up to find Hennepin County Sheriff Dave Hutchinson lying in the snow in the median of the freeway. He needed help getting up. Video shows him stumble a bit before a deputy helped him into a squad car.
You're not hurt, though, you said?
No, sir.
No? Okay.
No.
Deputies can be seen searching the crash scene. 3 firearms were found in the crashed vehicle: a rifle, a revolver, and a handgun. It is also reported that Hutchinson attempted to reach for his gun holster while talking to deputies.
Well, I got the ambulance en route. They're just about here. Okay, we're going to have them check you out and make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
You don't have any other weapons on you or anything like that? No?
No.
Okay.
Before Hutchinson was placed in the ambulance, you could hear the exchange between him and deputies about who was driving. Hutchinson lied repeatedly about being a passenger in his crash-work vehicle.
No, because I can't find anybody else around here who was driving.
I'm from Hennepin, so.
You're from Hennepin?
Yeah, I don't know. I took a cab from some person.
So were you a passenger then? Or
Yeah, I wasn't driving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you get that? Like, the cab driver came, took the police vehicle, and he was a passenger. And so he's claiming there's this other person. So now the cops are out there freezing their butts off looking for this other person that may be there.
There is somebody else out here then.
Well, what kind of car is out here? What is that right there?
Okay. Like I said, Dave, I don't know what kind of car it is. It's too smashed up right now, but I'm concerned because I don't see anybody else inside. And you're telling me you weren't driving?
No, absolutely not.
Hennepin County Sheriff Dave Hutchinson told first responders that a cab driver was behind the wheel of his county car when it crashed last month.
And that's according to a newly released document in the sheriff's drunk driving case. Political reporter Theo Keith tried to ask the sheriff about this today. So, Theo, any luck on that?
Silence from the sheriff's team today, Kelsey. Hutchinson tried to put his drunk driving behind him with a round of interviews 10 days ago. We've since learned he wasn't giving us the complete story. Hutchinson was returning at 2:30 a.m. from a sheriff's conference at this Alexandria resort. He said he left his hotel room and got on the road when he could not sleep.
When he couldn't get a drink. Listen to this. So everything's closed and he's still partying. So he's looking for a place to go have some more drinks. And when they won't get a cab to him in time, he decides to drive the cop car.
The investigation itself has raised questions about its completeness. After the Ford Explorer crashed in Douglas County, troopers had it towed to Detroit Lakes to search. The towing company brought it back to Hennepin County. Here at this facility in Medina, the story took another twist. It's here independent journalist Rebecca Brannon took photos of the wrecked Explorer. The Hennepin County administrator requested an investigation into how the photos were obtained. That investigation has since ended with no charges filed. Meanwhile, Hutchinson quietly pled guilty on December 20th, avoiding jail time. He was finally booked a day later, and only then in Ramsey County, not in Alexandria.
So this is my point. This guy got 0 jail time. This guy has sworn an oath. This guy has sent many other people to jail, probably lied on the reports just like he lies here. And that's why there needs to be an enhancement when law enforcement is guilty of a crime. We expect more, and we can get it. Our legislatures can put that in the law.
I pled guilty to the charge because I was guilty. Again, wasting time in the court process happens a lot.
In interviews the day after Christmas, Sheriff Dave Hutchinson took responsibility for drunken driving on I-94 earlier in the month. But according to a newly released search warrant document, Hutchinson initially lied about who was behind the wheel of his county vehicle, telling responding deputies it was a cab driver, not him. A state patrol sergeant made that allegation 2 days after the crash. Where are Hutchinson's answers now? The sheriff did not agree to a follow-up interview. His attorney did not return messages.
Surprise.
He did call a cab from a hotel in Alexandria to ask if any bars were open. He was told they would be closed by the time a cab got to him. Hutchinson crashed his SUV about an hour later.
Hutchinson eventually admitted he was driving drunk. His blood alcohol measured over the legal limit at...
Believe me, he only admitted to it because he was cold busted. You can tell if there was a way out of it, he was going to lie his way out of it.
0.13.
Did you get any special treatment during this process?
Absolutely not. I have no special treatment. I don't know who the attorney in Douglas County. I've never met him. I hired an attorney. We came up with a plan. Their county attorney and a judge approved it. I've been treated like anybody else.
Well, also, the sheriff says he'll run for re-election. He made that perfectly clear.
Hutchinson was sentenced on December 20th to 2 years probation and fined $610 on a misdemeanor drunken driving charge. He told our Jennifer Merrily he was getting help for his problems, will not step down, and plans to run for re-election.
He is not only not resigning, but he's going to run again next year.
Good luck.
All right, Theo. Thank you.
Convicted
Oh,
of
wait. So before we start this part, guess what? So it doesn't end there. Like I said, this is an older case. Took a while to get through it. But this guy cost the county $240,000 as a result of what's going on here. The next segment.
driving censured by the county board and its law license revoked. It's hard to imagine things getting worse for Hennepin County Sheriff Dave Hutchinson. But an outside human resources investigation confirms the findings of a Fox 9 investigation about how he created a hostile work environment. Here's Tom Lydon of the Fox 9 investigators.
A year later, Sheriff Dave Hutchinson's drunk driving crash now looks like the beginning, not the end, of his troubles. Driving drunk, lying to the state patrol, it was hard to believe it could get worse, but it did.
And the findings conclude that the sheriff engaged in racist, sexist, harassing, bullying, and retaliatory behavior.
On Thursday, the Hennepin County Board voted to censure the sheriff for creating a hostile and discriminatory work environment. Allegations first revealed in July by the Fox 9 investigators. Hutchinson would send sexist, racist, and homophobic text messages to his senior staff. The county hired an outside investigator. The final report, released late last night, confirming everything the Fox 9 investigators reported word for word. About an African-American sheriff's candidate, Hutchinson said, "She get the DFL for sure. Black, all they care about." He added, "People are sick of black people getting things solely for being black." To another black woman, Hutchinson said, "The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice." He had offensive pet names for his staff. The fat one, the office idiot. The investigator interviewed 10 members of the sheriff's most senior staff, who said after the drunk driving crash, Hutchinson was seldom seen in the office. But when he did show up, he was angry and paranoid. They worried he might snap and were concerned because he had a weapon. It culminated in a bizarre meeting on April 19th, where he berated, threatened, and yelled at his command staff, leaving one person in tears. Another described the meeting as surreal. Hutchinson was furious people were checking time cards of the sheriff's direct reports. A member of his command staff said if they reported illegal or fraudulent behavior, the person would be protected as a whistleblower. Hutchinson lost it, yelling, "So you're a whistleblower? Bring it on. There is nothing anyone can do to me." In another episode, after prosecutors declined to file charges in the police killing of Amir Locke, Hutchinson texted, "Burn, baby, burn," followed by emojis of flames and buildings, an apparent reference to the civil unrest after the murder of George Floyd. The report also sheds light on Hutchinson's behavior at the law enforcement conference where he drove home drunk. During a happy hour event, he told one of his lieutenants that another sheriff wanted to blank his wife. Hutchinson went on voluntary medical leave a month after the HR investigation began, and only after 2 phone calls to Hennepin County Attorney Mike Freeman, calls Freeman will not discuss. But what is not in the report is even more disturbing. Any indication that Hutchinson was actually getting the help he so clearly needed. For the Fox 9 investigators, I'm Tom Lydon.
Now, Hutchinson declined to talk to Fox 9, but he told the
course.
Star Tribune the allegations are untrue and blamed workplace politics. His last official day in office is January 2nd.
Wow. So imagine that. He's lying again, right? So anyway, I just wanted, because people had watched some of the other sheriff corrupt cop stuff, this is my local hero for losers. So with that said, until the next time, from the Wolfgram Worldwide headquarters here in downtown Minneapolis, Wolf 6 out here.